assume so.
No, he's not.
I have not heard that he will not be here.
Your voice sounds sick.
I
Are
am
you feeling
sick.
better?
I'm like 50% better than I was, but that's still, I was pretty sick, so, yeah.
Are you gonna be up for the session today?
Why would I be here if I wasn't? Why would we have
I
gotten to
don't
this
know.
point?
I just wanted to make sure, because you often tend to push yourself, EJ.
I do, I always do.
I know you do,
Banned
but
him
which
from
is why I
doing
was
voices
asking.
today, though.
You both spoke at once, so I didn't hear what either of you said. I got like half of each for phrases.
Oh god. What I was saying is, yeah, EJ, that's why I asked, because you always tend to push yourself too hard.
Fair enough. That's a true statement.
And then I said we banned him from doing any character voices, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's okay.
I don't think I could do them justice anyway. I'd be like trying to do an old lady voice and it would just come out as a
You're not allowed
Well,
to
it
try.
already sounds like an old lady voice, so you won't have any problem with that.
Wazowski.
That sounded like trying a voice. Don't make me leave.
Don't do that.
That's my threat. If I feel like you're trying too hard to make a voice, I'm just gonna
You'll
disconnect from the call.
Great. I mean, it doesn't hurt my voice to try a voice. I'm just saying I won't be able to do any justice to them.
Heal it though.
I mean, my throat was hurting. My throat hurting is basically over with now. Now it's just gunk in the lungs and in the nose or whatever. I've been going through like
You
a
should
tissue
not
box
have
a
that
day.
in your lungs or in the nose.
It could go back to hurting.
I mean, pain, annoyance, you know, they're both, I would rather have them both gone.
I can't tell who's saying that.
It's okay.
I'm sad.
You're sad?
Nathan, I want a hug. Ethan, I want a hug.
Okay, I'll just hop on a plane real quick and contaminate you with my germs, and yeah, it would be so great. You would be upset for a week after. I'm so sorry. It's the price you pay.
Okay.
Why are you sad?
What if Kat has a stronger immune system than you? Maybe she won't be sick for a week.
It's a competition now, is it?
Well, I think I'm just feeling sleepy, not sad. I think those two things can get confused in my head, though.
Interesting. I see. All this time, you could have been a bear. Just hibernate. It would have been good.
Probably.
Well, Ray definitely responded earlier today, so he is aware that session is
I
happening.
reckon there's a chance that he thought that we were still starting at 6 instead of 5:30.
Yeah, possibly that, or possibly his family is bothering him at the moment. He did also have internet issues last week, so maybe that's a factor as well. But I thought he probably would have mentioned something if he's like completely lost internet.
Yeah, I imagine so. Well, if he completely lost internet, then he wouldn't be able to mention anything.
Yeah, but I mean, he would have mentioned something earlier when he did have internet, if that's a still like major problem.
Well, yeah, but what if it wasn't an issue and then it became an issue again?
Yeah, then we would never know, and he'd just be gone. But it doesn't matter because his character walked away anyway. Speaking of which, I suppose we could start without him, but you know, that's a little rude.
I don't think that's kind of us.
Yeah, we'll wait at least another...
It's not even a little bit us.
What?
Get it? It's not kind of us.
In other topics, Pumpkin, did you see the discussion in the Kim Jimmy Discord about potentially doing another manhunt in a couple months?
No, but I saw that there was messages on there. I was gonna get ready to read them.
Gotcha. I forgot that I had told Shroomy, or like, I forgot that I had discussed with Shroomy at all about this, but he says that at one point I mentioned, oh, maybe we could try a brig with you, me, and him. I don't know if I really like that idea, But I
Why?
have
No, EJ,
Hmm?
I talked to you about this before. We don't do Briggs. If somebody else wants to be a runner, I swap out instead of you.
Okay.
I don't get it. I'm confused.
Just talking logistics about
Yeah,
Manhunt.
but I'm
Sea
saying
of Thieves.
if you want a galleon, I can join.
No, so we are doing a mini game in it where basically we need multiple ships on the same server, but we want more than just 2 ships. We want a significant amount of ships. We want like 3 or 4 ships, and it becomes harder and harder to do that. The more ships that you have, and also just for the competition itself, we want it to be sloops because it's hard to get that many people if we're gonna do larger ships.
Hmm.
Also, just worse for playing on. It's easier to play on a 2-person ship than a larger one.
Yeah, especially for having someone complete quest while the other one's soloing. It's much harder to solo a
Also,
break
horrible
group,
for
so.
comms as well.
Oh
We're
yeah, the
trying
more
to
people on the
communicate over
call.
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it have to be separate Discords, and that wouldn't be good for the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. So since Jeremy wants to participate, I guess we could switch out and have him be.
If he wants to be a runner, then yes, that's what we will do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I mean, I don't remember actually having that initial conversation. It must have been a long time ago. So, yeah, but would you want to be a hunter at that point? You might be
Yes,
better
that
than
would be the
us.
alternative.
Oh boy. Yeah, but I'm just saying um you could participate, or you could, just
I mean, if
set out
it's a
depending
day
on.
that I'm available, then I will
Gotcha.
participate. But
Okay.
otherwise, I guess I wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
It just means that it's less important that it's a day that I am available if I'm not going to be one of the runners.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. Like I said in the Discord that you haven't read yet, I was just gonna schedule it like a couple months out, and we'll just see who happens, or like if we can find a day that many people are free to help us get a server, and
Mhm.
then whoever wants to actually participate. But I'm not like too particular about
Yeah,
who we get, as long
like
as
if
it's
people swap in and out, it's okay.
yeah, as long as it
But
stays with
as long as we have
not opening
enough
up
people to
to
do it,
everyone in
yeah.
the red sky and random people that we barely know, because those people might be too skilled to like make it a relevant, or like make it a decent challenge that'll be an interesting video that's
Mhm.
longer than 5 minutes, and then two, people that aren't very annoying in the call or something.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kat, you're welcome to participate in this as well if you'd like.
What? I thought we wanted people who wouldn't be annoying.
Oh,
That hurts my feelings.
oh, she's already
Okay.
sad and
I kiss the
tired.
feelings better. Mwah.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Why
she
are you
says I'm sorry for getting offended. Oh, poor girl.
Stop using your defense mechanisms of being pitiful.
Oh.
That's not nice. I'm sorry.
What? Oh my goodness. She's continuing.
What is that? No,
You're
we're
okay,
sorry,
Kat.
Kat. You don't need to be sorry for us making you sad. That's our problem.
She's about to say sorry again, don't worry.
I won't say it.
That was good. That was really good. Good job.
Yeah.
You even know that you're good. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Well, I guess Ray fell into a pit and died. That's unfortunate.
I don't know. Wait 5 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you messaged him again?
I added him, but I don't. Let's see. Do I even have his number to text him directly? I will check. It's always better to use a secondary form of communication.
Yeah, exactly.
If the first one's failing. I do. Wow. He's also sent me videos of his face, apparently. That's interesting.
Lovely.
Oh, I received a text. It's probably from him. He says, "Who is this?" I guess he lost my number. Who else would be messaging you about D&D?
He's like clarifying which one of you.
Hmm.
That way he knows how important it is. It's like if it's the DM texting, that's serious. Everyone else doesn't matter.
I just said this is the DM. We'll see. Maybe he what if he switched numbers and I'm texting some
Well,
random
now he's
person
gonna
who has
actually
no
think
idea.
it's a scam. He's gonna think it's an actual scam, like somebody's trying to scam like nerds who are looking for their D&D groups.
Well, why would I say, "Are you available?" if I don't know. Hmm.
Why would you say, "Are you available at all"? Why wouldn't you just say, "We're in call D&D"?
Who is this? He says again.
Okay. Oh my goodness, you were not the person we should have tasked for this, which is surprising.
I texted again just before he said that, saying the monkey. If that's not specific enough,
That's
this is
slightly
a
better.
different number. I don't know.
I mean, that should be good enough. Now, keep in mind, you could have the wrong number as well, because I actually have him in my contact twice.
Well, I mean, I haven't changed my number, and I have a previous conversation with
No,
him,
no, no, no,
and
no,
I'm
no.
texting each other.
He could have changed numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That could have happened since last we talked.
And then somebody else could have his number now, which would make it so that you would have the wrong number.
Yeah.
So, then yes towards my statement.
I hope it is some random person. That would be hilarious. I want to see where this conversation goes. If it is someone else.
Hasn't Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 been out for a while?
Yeah, I think it actually is on D plus now.
Maybe that's what it's for. Because
I want to
my
see
family-
it.
that's nice. You might be able
Okay,
to
sorry.
bootleg or get somebody's Disney Plus then. But there's this box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that my family got, and that it's advertising that on it. So
Interesting.
it just feels like it would be a little bit old of a movie to advertise.
Yeah, unless the box of cereal has been around for a while.
It's a stale box.
Very well could be. It says used by 22 MAR 24.
No, that's March 22nd, 2024.
Unless it's March 24th, 2002.
The movie wasn't out by then, so I gotta say,
There we go. You cracked good.
They didn't even start.
Well,
the
wait,
MCU
no.
at that
If
point.
it's advertising for it, then it has to be before the movie comes out, right?
That's not how that works. You advertise for a movie also afterwards.
Well, then the expiration date helps not at all.
No, the expiration date is to tell you when the food expires.
That's true. Actually, this is a use by date.
Okay. So it expires before or after the use by date?
I actually think use by dates are pretty much the closest thing that you can get to an expiration date.
Oh.
What's more concerning to me is
Okay.
if it would have been 2002, it would be expired first off. But then also, cereals I feel like last a really long time. Like I feel like they have a pretty stable shelf life. That would mean that we've had it for a very long time.
He has not responded after I said, "This is the DM, the monkey, we're in call waiting. Ray?" Question mark. He just said, "Who is this?" twice, and no more responses. So,
I think that you got the wrong number.
yeah, he may.
And
may
they
have
probably
gotten
just blocked you.
He may have gotten a new phone number since February of
Let me see if
2020.
What
I
was
have
the
them.
number? Well, what was the number that you texted?
I'll have to check.
Because I'll text the other number that I have in my contact.
It ended in 3415. Is that the number you got?
That's an iPhone for me, so I'll try the other one.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could always go a little bit without him. But
I feel bad for going without it.
mm, it's always rough when there's so few people. It's lonely. I did ask Light if she wanted to start rejoining sessions again, and I said that she was like, I don't know if I have time to, or like on those days to escape from the boyfriend or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you can invite the boyfriend too, that's fine. You can be the prince that you're trying to hunt. And she was like, oh, that would be fun, but apparently he's not down to do that, at least not at this point.
What?
So
Why wouldn't her
Well,
boyfriend?
it's a little bit awkward being in
hey, Ray!
D&D.
Well, I could if she brings her boyfriend, I'd bring mine.
Yeah, 6-person campaign.
Oh yeah, well
that way
if
it doesn't matter
if
as much
you
if someone
both
is
bring
gone.
your boyfriends, then I'm gonna have to bring mine too.
You don't have a boyfriend.
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
you
I have a
can't.
husband.
Kick?
A husband.
Well, your husband's my boyfriend.
No.
What? What
He would
kind
never
of
cheat on
convoluted
me.
family tree
He would
we got
never
He's
going
let
actually
on?
that
had
happen.
a lot of problems with cheating on me in the past, so I mean, but he would never do that.
That's
Hey, Ray.
not good.
It's okay. I've forgiven him. He's grown.
Hmm.
He's better now.
Hi, why meowing?
I did not realize I was muted this whole time.
You're okay.
Yeah, sorry, I lost track of time. Let me tell my family that I'm going to be in D&D session.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
no worries.
You have like a fan that's going crazy.
So EJ, I would delete that number from your phone and change it to the new number, which Ray could
Well,
probably give you
I need to
now.
ask first if it was Ray who was responding.
Well,
who is this?
considering that he actually accepted my like immediately after I clicked my text, like 1 minute later he joined, I would say probably was.
Well, in that case, I just want to keep texting this number and mess with them.
I think that they've just blocked you already.
They could have, yeah. I mean, probably. But at the same time, wouldn't you be a little curious if someone started texting
Okay,
you as though
give
they
me
had
the
some
No,
sort of
number.
I wouldn't.
EJ, give me the number right now.
context?
Give me it.
Oh my gosh.
What is
what are
it?
you gonna do to it?
I'm gonna say Ray.
Let's do it after.
Just give it
You
to me
know,
real
we can
quick.
just ask Ray. Yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable to ask. I just don't think
What's
that it's
the number?
necessary.
I'm not gonna say it right now because I'm recording. I don't want to expose this person's number.
I'll text you the
Dang it.
number, Kat.
Oh, you have the old number. I see.
Mhm.
Oh, please mess with this person and be like, yeah, why aren't you at D&D? Or just make up some other reason. Be like, excuse me, President Ray, we really need you. Are you on Do Not Disturb? Because I just said D&D. I didn't specify it was Dungeons and Dragons. Just use as many obscure code words as possible for this poor person.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like some 80-year-old guy.
Oh yeah.
Wait, actually, what if it is Ray's family? If he just gave them the phone
That could be. I don't know.
right now. I actually kind of vaguely remember Ray talking about how he had to get a new number and stuff.
I don't. The last time I got a successful response from him was like 2021. So
Imagine not deleting your messages after that long.
why would I delete my previous messages if I ever need to go back in the history and look at some?
Facts.
Why would you need to go back in history and look at something? Where you
Because
trying
I
to
don't have
expose
perfect
Ray
memory.
for something?
No, it's just what it saves like what 4 kilobytes of data to like remove some text. It's not worth the effort.
It's the pictures that we're worried about.
Okay, he did send me a very beautiful, like very zoomed in video of his face. Other than that,
Exactly.
it's just kind of talking about like. Actually, we only ever messaged like 4 times. That's about it. Mostly about D&D stuff.
It also just adds to the list of numbers that you have to scroll through in your messages.
I mean, I mostly just type. If I'm needed to message someone, I just search little search bar and I say person I need to message, and then it brings up the right chat, and I just type in it. I don't even have to scroll looking for anything. Well, this has been a fun diversion.
Sorry, I'm here. I've been having a crazy day. So what's up?
No problem. Welcome, Ray. Just curious, did you get a new phone in the last like year or so, or a new number?
No, it's still the same.
Does it end in?
Which text did you receive? Mine or EJ's?
I got yours, Tom.
Thank you. EJ has a very old number of yours.
I guess I do. I
Oh,
have your
that's-
number that ends in 3415.
Do you want to know what I texted them?
Yes.
What did you text them?
Hey Ray, you missing D&D? We need Mama Swizzle.
This
I mean,
poor
yeah,
person.
that's
They're just
that's
gonna
what
feel
you would
like,
say.
what is happening? Keep us updated on any responses you get, unless they block you too. Mm.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Thanks. I guess I'll do
Oh
one
no,
more
you
later.
just exposed yourself
Yep,
Oh
I
no.
am not gonna bother.
to the recording.
I'm not gonna bother editing that out or anything. It's just gonna be one long waste of time at the beginning of this session, and then we'll finally get to the D&D like 30 minutes in.
I'm gonna re-reference it. Do you not have chat recorded when you record this?
I mean, yeah, usually I'm in full screen mode, but right now I'm still looking at chat because we hadn't like actually begun. Also,
Mhm.
sometimes people message things in the chat, and then I don't see
Well,
it.
exactly. I think that would be where the problem would come in.
So which D&D are we doing right now?
The one that we
EJ's.
usually do. Even though I'm
Mine was meant as a one
sick.
shot, but it's something that we could convert to later.
I did
Wait, which
after-
one are we
I did
doing?
really enjoy it. So yeah, I think we're saving it for next time I'm not
Afterwards,
prepared or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if EJ is unprepared, otherwise, like, hell, I mean, that would really be the only thing. Or the
if
bigger
EJ 's
thing is
sick.
like, yeah, but then we wouldn't be doing it at all. We would just not be doing D&D.
What?
Well, unless
No,
he's
he's
sick
sick
enough
right
that
now.
he can't DM, but is fine enough that he can play a character of his whole own, which I feel like we would just be losing a lot of like the focus on his character, and that wouldn't be very good. Not that the
Why
bear
meowing?
spoke
Why
much.
meowing?
No.
Did you hear her?
I did.
Yes,
That was
sing to
adorable.
her.
Sing, sweet nightingale. Sing, sweet nightingale. Ah,
She likes singing.
Does she?
Nova likes singing. Yeah,
Oh.
If someone
That's cute.
sings, she comes right up to the mic or
yeah.
anywhere.
She goes up to them and is just like,
That's
"Thank you
cute.
for singing to me."
Oh.
Here, I'll show you her. She's right next to me because I'm singing. Sing, sweet kitty cat. Sing, sweet kitty cat. Ah, ah, ah.
Maybe she just likes attention. She's like, hey.
But she,
But
If I'm
she'll
not
just run
paying
around the
attention to her-
apartment.
she'll run around the apartment until I start singing, then she'll come up to me.
Hmm.
Or whenever Nathan started singing me to the other night, she went up to where the speakers are. So she left me and went to the speakers.
That's
And it
cute.
wasn't when we were talking.
You
it
should
was when we
probably leave her like a cappella music while you're away from the apartment, just like playing, but like have multiple Bluetooth speakers that like switch every now and then.
So she runs.
Yes, she gets a workout in.
That's so
no.
mean.
She needs to exercise.
She's like,
Oh,
I need
gosh.
to find the ghost person who's singing.
No, she's like she needs to be up next to it, and we're just like, yes, very good singing, and then it switches, and you're just like, oh, it's over there. Gets over there.
I would totally do that, but I'd have to record it. That's cute.
You just set up a Nest Cam to watch the whole charade. Anyway, welcome all to our grand shared delusion where we sit around and imagine and hallucinate vividly for long periods of time. In our
Now
last-
I understand why people were afraid of kids doing D&D.
In our last exciting session, Mama Swizzle was not doing so well, and then she proceeded to get stung by a wasp as well while she was basically just laid on a motorcycle and ignored for 6 hours under a tarp.
We're not telling Light about that part, right?
The doctor did manage to escape in the night and slip away without a trace after having retrieved the candles from the old lady, or for the old lady, and left them beside her. Then he set off in the direction of Lunimus during the night, traveling away from the rest of the group. The rest of the group continued to sleep, getting some well-needed rest after their many battles of the day. It was a rather slapdash setup without much campsite preparations. It was basically just flopping on the ground and calling it good. And as you guys begin to wake up, Ananias and QZ, that is, you are feeling a little achy, a little stiff from the cold of the morning air, as the dew drenches your clothes and kind of makes you a little uncomfortable. But the sun is rising. It is very bright and beautiful. It's a cloudless morning. Birds are chirping every once in a while.
I take off my outermost coat and I shake it.
It
Shake all the
drips.
dew off it.
Mm-hmm.
I put my cloak back into my bag, the black one, and now I'm back looking ready for Lunimus. I look around. What do I see?
You see the rest of the campsite doesn't appear to be all that disturbed. It seems that the paths of like pushing your way through the tall grass the grass has restored itself to its original positions throughout the night, except for the trail from the motorcycle, because that was kind of more destructive and kind of carved a deep trench into the ground in certain areas. But the other pathways of you guys wading through the tall grass has been mostly restored back to the way it was. You also see Mama Swizzle laying on the ground, and there's just a lot of small plants and vines and little flowers kind of growing up all around her body, completely covering her. You can't really see her. She's just basically a pile of underbrush at this point over by the motorcycle.
Oh,
And you
They
don't
want to make her a
see-
shrubbery.
You don't see the old woman, and you don't see the doctor. And furthermore, off a little bit farther to the distance, you see what appears to be a wooden door on the top of one of these small hills. That wasn't there before. It's just a wooden doorway with a wooden door in it.
I love wooden doors.
Adorable.
I'm gonna walk towards that.
Alright.
Would I have like what I have like the choice to like wake up and have been going along with her, right?
Yeah, you can wake up as well.
Yeah, I think I would have gone with her.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you following me?
Don't forget,
What?
before I left, I put a projection of myself sitting on a hill.
Ah,
nearby.
yes. Okay.
Mm,
This would actually be a different hill, so, or at least the way I imagined where Ray put the hologram, I imagined he put it on the closest crest to the nearest hill, but there's a separate hill where that door is. So you guys might, I guess you'd see the hologram, but you don't know it's a hologram. So it's just, it looks like the doctor is sitting, looking out over the countryside in that direction. He's just kind of chilling over there, sitting, recorded loop, I guess. And a final thing you notice is just a very faint moaning coming from the bushes of Mama Swizzle. If that changes anything, Internice might just be.
Those bushes are moaning.
The bushes are moving.
Well, I think QZ would actually take quite a fair amount of notice and concern with the Mama Swizzle's condition, so he's probably gonna leave Ananias to do whatever Ananias is going to do.
I'm going to the door.
Self-kill or whatever.
Yeah.
Yay,
And
death.
Yeah.
and QZ is gonna like check on Mama Swizzle, see what's going on,
hmm
make sure she's not dying
Yeah.
any more than she's already died. You know.
As you approach the mass of small little grasses and flowers and vines and tendrils that are kind of like wrapping around her body thickly, you can kind of brush them away to try to see her, and she looks real bad. She's like at death's door or something. It seems like these little vines are her last like little feeble attempt to kind of enchant nature to kind of come, and you can see these tendrils of nature are kind of trying desperately to peel the stone away from her, but the curse seems to have already spread across her entire abdomen, across most of her chest, and is even, encroaching upon her final arm, up her neck, across her face, and she's just in pain. She kind of can barely move as she looks over to you, being slowly petrified, and it seems like she's basically in her final moments at this point, as she kind of sputters weakly, barely able to get out more than a whisper.
Mama Swizzle, no, you're gonna make it through it. Just hang in there. We're getting you help.
No. Let me die.
Mama Swizzle,
You can
The curse.
understand her for once, QZ.
I've always been able to understand you.
Actually, Ray, would you like to be Mama Swizzle for a bit here?
Oh, sure. Let me die. I've been wanting this for.
Can I hear this in the ring?
She's not speaking into the ring. If you're not interested in going to check on Mama Swizzle, then you're not here. You can change your mind about where you want to be.
Did the goose call me over, or did I just not hear her?
I don't know. I don't think I would have called you over, but you would have heard the noises, right?
Would I have heard the noises?
You probably would have
Because
heard.
you said it was faint.
Well, you wouldn't have. I mean, you could have heard the moaning and been like, "Yep, okay, that's Mama Swizzle being Mama Swizzly." But then you would have heard QZ in a much more concerned tone be like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna get you help." So if you
Mhm.
wanted to turn and look in more.
Okay,
detail
I'd
at
like
that
to
point.
turn and look.
Mhm.
What's happening? What do I see?
From,
Mama Swizzle is dying.
if you're like 50 feet away, you're probably just gonna see more of those, like the vines or whatever. You might not be able to see the severity of the situation, but you can come check it out if you want.
Okay, I check it out.
Yeah, Mama Swizzle's dying,
Nice.
and she says,
She can't die. This is not gonna kill her.
No, Ananias, she spoke. Her curse. I think it's gone.
Yeah,
Mama Swizzle, are you still cursed?
Yeah, Mama Swizzle, you can feel that the power of Sylvanas is no longer there. There's nothing else keeping you alive. All that's left is this evil corruption from the underworld person, and you fear what it might do to you.
I cannot feel Vanis with me, but I do fear worst. Raven Queen has won. I am no longer.
Oh wow, Ray's a good actor.
Mama Swizzle, just take it easy. Just rest. Don't feel that you need to push yourself to get this out.
You too.
Well, I'm sad right now. Says Ananias.
With every week rise and fall of Mama Swizzle's hardening and crusting chest, you see the curse continuing to take more and more control as it's like working its way up her lower jaw. Or
Mama Swizzle, you have to fight it. What should we do, Goose?
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything we can do. Just be with her in final moments.
I appreciate that.
Honestly, we've been through so much. It's been an honor getting to know you.
It was nice that you were able to understand me near the end. Ananias,
Yes? I get closer to Mama Swizzle.
I know that you're afraid to tell your friend what you are, but you can trust QZ. I've learned to trust him.
That I'm a cult member? I was
You think he's figured it out by now? Oh no! Wait, you're in a cult?
I mean, what you think of your shapeshifting?
I mean,
Ananias.
PC definitely hears it.
Ananias is gonna like look around awkwardly and be like, "There's nothing." Yep.
I suppose the cat's out of the bag. But Mama Swizzle, I don't. Is there anything else that you need to tell us about before you go?
Still stirring up mischief even in the final moments.
But he already knew I could shapeshift. Like he has seen me shapeshift.
Yeah.
Like...
The first time I didn't see you for shapeshift, I knew you by your spell.
Oh, true. True.
Huzith is not surprised by magic. He's learned to expect the unexpected. That is what makes him a truly masterful monk.
Or a Boy Scout.
A Boy Scout.
No, Boy Scouts are just supposed to be prepared. They're not supposed to expect the unexpected.
I thought that was one of the mottos so well.
Well, if you expect it, then it's not unexpected.
Womp womp.
By unexpected, I mean completely expected.
Okay. Well, I'd just say that Mama Swizzle's breathing her last breath now. Thanks, Dad.
You see the little plants that Mama Swizzle was trying to use her druid magic on all begin to kind of wilt and fade, drooping back into the ground, except for one rather large nettlebell that continues like wilting as though it's sweeping over Mama Swizzle.
Mama Swizzle's making her own grave.
And yeah, the curse works its way past the end of her fingers, turning her lower body into just a stone gargoyle of her former self, and it continues to work the last way up her head. Anything else you wanted to say, Ray, as Mama Swizzle?
Nope.
Yeah. You feel that this curse is not allowing you to be free, even in your passing. So it's still a bit of a harrowing question mark, and very painful as this is occurring, but there's nothing more to be done. And with that, Mama Swizzle has become a block of rock, infused with some metal from Rusty's rings, and infused with, you know, some strange magic from beyond the grave, as well as.
Wait, both the rings are gone then? Oh.
No, they're on her.
Well, it's being infused with her.
Well, I'm gonna be taking her apart soon, so.
What?
What?
Don't dissect a rock.
No, listen. I'm gonna take the rings off of her.
Yeah, that's what I would have liked to have done as well, but I think they're a part of her now.
The rings, in particular, are still on her original cursed hand. They do appear to be maybe not fused with the rest of the metal that already came from Rusty, but they are still on her fingers, which are curved and stone, and would be difficult to remove them without knocking her fingers off.
I am gonna speak into the ring. Mama Swizzle, are you there?
Ananias,
Appear to be any response.
I think she's...
Mama Swizzle! Mama Swizzle! I say more emphatically.
QZ kind of just places a hand on Ananias' side and says, she's mamaed her last swizzle.
Shut up.
I like that.
This is
No.
ground control to Mama Swizz.
And I couldn't keep a straight face for it, but that was meant to be like the most serious thing.
Okay.
Like he meant it like that was from the heart.
Yeah.
She's
Heard.
a good mama.
Heard. Ananias' knees are gonna buckle and she's gonna fall to the ground over Mama
QZ
Swizzle's.
catches her.
Oof.
You're not allowed to fall to your knees. No, get back up here.
I'm
not what
forced
it
back up
is.
to my feet.
I apologize for sick noises, by the way.
How dare
Is she stuck in the ground now?
I mean, no, she was laying on the ground when she got stony, so she's still just resting on a bed of grass. But she is heavy.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to bring her anywhere.
She's no longer Mama Swizzle. She's Heavy Swizzle.
You
This is
know,
what happens if you get stoned, kids.
we can't leave her here.
But how
She's
could
our
we bring
friend.
her?
On the bike.
The bike's
could
already
get-
damaged enough as it is.
We
Been a little
could
bit-
get that ugly and unsmart untrustworthy and
the scientist?
we could get him to
Smart scientist.
we could get him to have some magic doohickeys to lift her.
I mean, you would know more about magic than me. I suppose if that's possible. I don't know though. Where would she want to be? QZ asks that to okay.
Well, I don't know where she'd want to be, but we gotta turn her back into not stone before we ask.
This curse, if the curse is gone, if Mama Swizzle said that the Raven Queen is one, then I don't know if there's a way to.
Okay. She says, defeated. Okay.
Okay.
So we kill the Raven Queen.
Next
Definitely
quest.
seems like it was on Mama Swizzle's list, so. If we have some spare time, I guess, in between saving the world and, well, this woman stuff. Oh my goodness.
Woman stuff?
Because didn't we have the beast, the woman from we have to like return her to her cart, right?
The woman's no longer there.
Yeah, she is gone and
He hasn't noticed that yet.
Yeah, I don't think that I would have noticed
Okay,
that, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, she doesn't appear to
I
be
have
where
noticed
where
that.
you left her and instead you just see a doorway over there. Maybe they're connected, maybe they're not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there. For now. I
So
point
yeah,
at the doorway.
Hmm.
Oh, but she was just. Where'd that woman go?
Maybe she's in the door. Come on.
I
You know what
I
I,
don't
find
think we should just be
hilarious?
walking through mysterious doorways. That doesn't sound like the wisest thing.
What I
Well,
find
I'm
hilarious.
still sitting next to Mama Swizzle, and out of my book, I'm gonna take the map that I folded up, the one I took from Carmen. Um
Mhm.
and is where we're at now on the map.
Uh, where you are now is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like you're just in a field, but
Yeah, I know I
you're
wouldn't
in
know.
view of Lunimus, so you know where you are.
Okay, so it would technically be on the map. I just wouldn't know where it is.
I mean, it really depends on what you're attempting to mean. Like, there's nothing. It's marked. It's a field on the map.
Yes.
So
So I see a field and I know I'm there on a
yeah,
field.
sure.
Okay, I would like to draw take out a little feather with my ink, and I would like to draw a little Mama Swizzle in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Swizzle's in the same.
And I write Mama Swizzle underneath it.
Cool. And what were you trying to say, Ray? I didn't mean to let you get cut off.
No, that's okay. That's okay. What I was going to say is I find it funny that QC has yet to realize that he's no longer connected to the doctor.
Mm.
To the what?
To the doctor. He tied a rope to the doctor and tied it to himself.
Yeah, to myself, but then also like to the cart. But yeah. QZ heard this rustling first, but no, there's a lot of things going on for him. He's probably a bit overwhelmed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, he just lost Gohan. Now he's losing Mama Swizzle. Rip.
But yeah, QZ's gonna probably jump in with some dialogue here and say, "This, so much is, this is crazy. Where even is the doctor as well? Everyone is gone."
I point at the doctor.
Everyone's gone.
QZ like runs up to where the doctor is, and because he's like suspicious as to like why he hasn't moved
I'm heading
at all.
towards the door now. After I put away the map.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put my hood up, and I'm gonna go back to being close to nothing.
Okay. Close to
QZ
nothing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you come up and you find the doctor just sitting there at the top of the hill staring out. As you come up beside him, he does not make any response that he knows you're there.
QZ is at this point convinced that there's something that has happened. Because like the lady's gone, the doctor is unresponsive to all this mess. He's just
Well, something
shouting
has
at the
happened.
lady being gone. So he's going to probably draw his weapon and like place it kind of like at the side of the doctor and say, "What is going on?" So like place it on his shoulder, the doctor's shoulder, as if it's like against his neck.
The moment you make contact, the blade just kind of passes through it with no resistance, and you see a little blue spark, and it kind of dissolves the illusion, or hologram, I suppose, revealing just a small little CAD on the ground.
He did this.
Uh-oh.
It's the last time I trust anyone.
Oh.
Ananias! The doctor... He's not here.
Do you turn around and notice I'm not here either?
Yes. Probably after I once again don't get a response.
Well, yeah, so if this is the motorcycle where you guys were talking about Mama Swizzle, QZ went up this hill, and I started going up this hill. Hey! Oh. It's just, you're like 200 feet away or more, just walking the other direction. You can pick up the
QZ is
little
just...
sparking device if you'd like, or leave it there.
Yeah,
Okay.
QZ is probably going to like spitefully like pick it up, like snatch it off the ground,
Hmm.
and go to Ananias to follow.
Hmm. It's pretty warm to the touch after having been active for so long.
He looks it.
but not painfully so. Yeah. Yeah. So Ananias, as you're walking up to this mysterious wooden door, it doesn't give any like strange, mysterious, like otherworldly voices in your head or any crazy choir of demons or angels.
Nothing I'm
or
used
anything.
to.
It.
Pretty abnormal for a door.
I was just saying it looks pretty normal as you approach.
That's what I'm saying. Abnormal.
It's normal.
Yeah, a
therefore it's
normal door is
abnormal.
kind of abnormal
Yeah.
because like no one's
I mean, in my
actually normal.
experience.
Yeah. What is weird about it is it's just like who builds a wooden door frame and a door to nowhere? Like if you look on both sides, it's just a two-dimensional door. There's
Well, have you heard of the Road to El Dorado?
Hasn't he watched that movie?
I have. I don't understand what
I don't know.
is relevant about that. It's just making me think for no
El
reason.
Dorado's nowhere, right?
I don't even know how to answer that. Moving on. So you see this door, and as you're approaching it, you do notice that it seems to be ajar. As you get really
Is it a
close-
door or a jar?
Is it a door or a jar?
Oh my gosh. Just seems to be slightly ajar. It opens outward towards
A jar?
you.
Slightly?
It's only half
I'm
jar.
gonna cry.
It's like
Don't cry.
Ananias, it can change its type.
What would you like to do, Ananias?
What was the question?
What would you like
What
to
would you
do?
like to do?
Well, for some reason my spells are being weird, so I'm looking at them. It looks like a dimensional door to me, right? I would recognize that. Technically, I have that spell now.
It does not look like a dimension door. Dimension door is kind of a magical casting that you can do. This is
Awesome.
as
This
far
is
as
just
you
a
can
random
tell,
door.
a
I
physical
want to open this
object.
door.
Yeah, it's already open, but yeah, you can.
Oh, it's a
kind of-
jar. Oh, right. I forgot. But I didn't
Yeah,
understand
get
what
it
a jar
straight.
meant.
How did you not understand? Thanks for ruining everything, Pumpkin. Yeah, you just kind of loosely grab onto this handle and kind of tug it just slightly, and it effortlessly kind of eases open, revealing a entirely different area, unsurprisingly, through it. I mean, unsurprisingly for all of us, because we've seen too many shows, but surprisingly probably to your character, as you witness this like nether portal-esque type thing where you can see an entirely different world beyond the edges of this door frame. And as the sun is streaming behind you and illuminating just a little bit of this old red carpet in an
Usually runs up
Ancient.
and licks it.
ancient mansion, probably it looks like, with bits of the roof kind of fallen apart, and you can see.
If you lick it, because you're a goose, you have teeth on your tongue, so your tongue's gonna get stuck against it.
Oh no! It's like Velcro.
No, that's only with crows. I'm a goose.
It's
face
Vel
falling hard
Goose.
enough. You can see basically into this room. It looks like it was a very cool, like very pristine wooden mansion at one point, perhaps. But now the wood has kind of rotted away. The rugs are tattered and moth-ridden. The many doors that line the rooms are all kind of shut and corroded, and the roof has some pieces that have fallen out, and you can see the night starry sky above, even though behind you there's sunlight, but here there's night, which is odd. And there's only one door, just very nearby to where you are, that appears to be wide open, revealing yet another location. And you hear some faint kind of muttering noises that sound like they could be from the old woman coming from
Hey,
that
they ain't
direction.
getting me to no second location. It's a John Mulaney reference.
I haven't heard it, but I like it.
Street smarts.
Mm. Yeah. So what would you like to do? And also, QZeth, are you approaching to check this out too at this point?
Yeah, Qzeth was running after Ananias.
Gotcha. Yeah, you see the same thing. You see the weird door that leads to a different place. Maybe Ananias is pausing for a moment to kind of observe what the heck. Why is there an abandoned mansion with another door? Inside that other door appears to be a what seems to be a stone room, like a circular stone room of some kind. Not very big, but you can't see the old woman. You just hear old woman noises as she's like, she seems to be struggling with something.
Old woman noises.
Mhm.
Ananias, I don't know what is going on, but I don't know if we can trust this woman.
What woman?
The one making the noises?
Do I see a woman in front of me?
No.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean you can't hear it, Ananias.
I walk into the room.
No.
Into the room with the woman, or the room that, like the first room with the mansion, or the second room?
There's
with
multiple rooms?
There's like the mansion, and then there's another door opening to the stone room, which it doesn't really matter, but yeah.
Are they different? I'm confused.
So you're going from the meadow to the mansion, then there's another door in the mansion very close to the first door that leads to the stone room the woman's in.
But does it look like the same type of door, like it doesn't have walls around it?
The second door...
The door through the door.
Well, so the door that you're coming through, on your side, it's just a door floating in the middle of nowhere. As you're going through it, it appears to be like a normal door on a wall in this mansion, and this mansion has many of such doors, and another one of these doors is open to a different place.
And the place, is it outside?
The place that the woman's at is a stone room that appears to be rather dim.
And it's not in the mansion, it's in a different place.
I mean, for all you know, it could be in the mansion. Unclear on that part, honestly. It just looks like it's a stone room as opposed to a wooden room.
I'm gonna walk into the room the woman's in.
Yep.
I'll knock first though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you knock.
Qzeth follows, but cautiously.
Yeah, you knock lightly on this wooden door, and the woman, as you kind of peek through the crack of the door, you can see her in this dim room, and she's like trying to muscle her like big candles up onto some pedestals. She's got 11 different stone pedestals in this small room. It's maybe 15 foot in diameter, maybe 20 foot in diameter actually, circular, with these 11 pedestals around, and it also seems to be rather old. It's got a collapsed part of the ceiling that is revealing somewhere in between the nighttime and daytime that you were just experiencing. So maybe it is a different location, but there's enough light to kind of dimly illuminate this small shrine, and you can see the candles have these same symbols that I described to Ray last time. These candles have like runes etched into them, into the wax, and symbols that, if you would roll me a religion check, you may be able to tell are related to some gods, or maybe not.
Awesome. I probably would know them, but would you like me to roll?
I would say, yeah, you're probably likely to know them, considering you were in a shrine when we first began this campaign.
Correct.
So you've probably at least had a passing familiarity with several of these.
So I've seen them before. Cool. I don't necessarily need to know what they are.
Sure.
I'm gonna look like Val. So I'm gonna pull my hood down, and I'm gonna say, "Excuse me. Do you need assistance with that?"
She nods vigorously. She doesn't even bother to speak. She just is like,
I'm gonna rush over and help.
QZ stops her and is like, What are you even lifting this for?
she's still muttering to herself like, "Oh, late, so late, so late." But she doesn't seem to even try to respond to you.
Listen, crazy was one thing, or sorry, annoying was one thing, crazy's another.
She's got about 3 of the candles set up out of the 11 candles that she has, and there are, I guess that means 8 more pedestals left. If
Do we
you
know
would
this
like
woman?
No, you've never seen her before up until meeting her yesterday. But she doesn't seem hostile to you. She seems pretty harmless. She's just very particular about she's late to lighting these candles for whatever reason.
Yeah. Is she blind?
She is blind, yes. She does not. It's like just kind of skin that's all scarred and messed up where her eyes should be.
Okay.
Yeah. Her hair is also a little kind of raggedy and crazy. But who needs appearances when you can't even see yourself? Yeah. So, would you like... I mean, Ananias is helping her, and she kind of smiles appreciatively, but still seems like stressed. You can see her kind of like worry lines as she's, quickly slowly hobbling over towards the next candle.
Kizzy asks, "What even is this place? Where Ananias? Do you know where we are? Do you know what she's doing?"
Yeah.
Listen in upon the gods, the council's importance against the odds.
Listen, I already told you once. The riddles are not going to help me.
She's got some god cancel. She got some god candles. I
She got
explained.
some god candles.
I'm glad that
Smells
she
like-
likes her candles, but why is that important?
Are you asking?
Well, I don't know. Ask her.
So you don't know why we're trying to move this?
Where are we moving it to?
Just on these, there's like some stone pedestals that are about the same thickness of the candle, but they're like square. So there's some.
Are we gonna light them?
She nods vigorously again, and she pulls out like a very raggedy little like homemade tinderbox type thing, and kind of like begins to frail, shaking fingers trying to like get it to light, but it's not working.
Can I light it by snapping my fingers?
Can you? Is that what kind of spell does
Well, I don't know. You'll have to try. Snap your fingers.
that?
Well, let me try snapping my fingers and see if I can do it. Technically, I've done it in the past, but it was on accident. So I wonder if I can do it again.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I would say it depends on what spells you've got. Do you have a spell that does that kind of thing? Or you could just...
I don't know. What about dancing lights? Does that work? But
Technically, no.
I instead of creating lights.
I mean, you
Okay.
can also have, like, standard adventure.
What if I
use
use
that.
my cantrip of like the little Eldritch
Just use
Blast, except I
Fireball.
do a tiny one?
Fireball, oh no!
I will not be using Fireball. Can I use
Oh, why
a
not?
mini tiny Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast is more force damage, like, kind of launching forward a...
Well, technically, the first time I ever made the sparks out of my fingers that would cut something on fire was with me attempting to try Eldritch Blast. So what if I just recreate what I did that time?
You're
I
gonna
would say,
recreate you failing.
Yes.
I would say you have to roll a d20 with your Arcana modifier to see if
Awesome.
you can recreate something that you did by accident in the past.
Good luck, me.
Turns out you are can't.
What happens? What happens? What happens if I roll a nat one?
Then you are couldn't.
Well, just roll me a d100. We'll find out.
Oh dear. Okay, so
Nice.
let me roll. I didn't roll a nat one yet, but oh,
Well,
crap.
when you do.
Oh, I thought you.
Don't you want to know what the 100 D100 roll
Hey, I
is?
just
Come on.
lost the die.
Well, that
That's-
obviously is a
that's
net
nat
one
one,
because
yeah.
you net one.
You
You net
failed in
one
real life.
IRL.
Guys, wait, I need to find it.
It's not our fault you rolled a net 1 in real life.
No, I didn't roll. I don't know what it is. It fell on the floor.
It was a
somewhere.
net 1. You failed.
No, it wasn't. I don't know what it is.
Well, if you didn't fail, then why is it on the ground?
Well, I'm looking for it.
You're such an instigator, Pump.
How does this even happen, guys? It's
You don't want to ask
missing.
Pump, he'll just say it's because you failed.
I think I
You still
lost
have
it
to
to
roll
like
a d12.
What?
Roll a d12 instead and pretend like it's your d20.
No.
This could have all been avoided if you just used a tinderbox like a normal person.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a second D20. I'm gonna go back to looking for my original one. What if my original one was a 20? This makes me so angry.
It probably wasn't. It's about as likely as it being a 1.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well I'm gonna roll the other one. It's a 13. Awesome.
Okay,
16 total.
gotcha. I'd say you do a pretty decent job. It doesn't create the exact same effects as last time, whatever effects those were last time, but it does create something similar enough where sparks and a little jet of flame kind of blast out of your fingers as you're doing this thing, which is
What
exactly
little hair
what
the
you were...
old lady had disappeared.
Oh no! Oh no! Thankfully, no. Her hair remains intact, but you
Wait,
can
are my hands still there? No, they're not.
your hands are still invisible. Yes. So, I mean, not that the lady could see them either way. Yeah. So you have like a little floating flame shooting out of your non-existent fingers at this point, which you can use to light all these candles as you're going.
Alright, I'm gonna go around with my little floating flames.
Are you going to put them all on the pedestals first, or light them first and then put them on the pedestals after?
I'm gonna put them on the pedestals first and then light them.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Hey, I don't know what happened to it. I'm starting to freak out.
I'm sure Nova will find it and like start playing with it one day. Just
Oh,
scoop it
no.
out from under a dresser.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to bewitch Nova and get Nova to find it for you.
You should
Okay.
turn on your Bluetooth speaker and have it start singing from the D20, and then she'll find it.
Yeah, who needs AirTags when you have just Bluetooth speakers with Nova and singing?
Anyway, so to speed things along, you set up all these candles on these pedestals as this woman is very insistent that be done for some reason, casting a slight warm glow into the room, and you begin lighting the candle with a left hand pointing upward, outlined in fire, a candle with a toothed cog with 4 spokes, and all these various ones with various symbols upon them. Once you get to the candle that has an oak leaf and antlers, it seems to struggle to light, as though maybe the candle's wet or isn't quite able to retain the fire and like burn properly. So you're like trying to get it to light and it's kind of sparking and going out, and it's just barely kind of clinging to light, like a little sparkler type thing, but it is like very faint and smoky, as it's,
That's bad.
yeah, kind of trying to retain its light. But
I
as
say to the lady, I think this candle's broken.
she kind of nods her head and looks down sadly. As
Oh, that
the
sucks.
smoke from these candles kind of begins to slowly, lazily drift into the air and waft into the room, you begin to hear faint echoes of some otherworldly voices. And, let's see. Yeah, I guess you would understand. So, yeah, you begin...
Yeah, Nova found the die for me.
Oh, really? That's
Hooray.
great. Good girl. Yeah, you begin to hear voices of possibly gods that are seeming to discuss in concerned voices.
In Celestial?
Knowing God.
Let's see. What languages do you know, Kuzith?
I will check 1 second. I didn't even pull up the sheet at all yet, so it's gonna take a moment to load.
I was just gonna say they were discussing in common, honestly.
Okay, well then
But
it's in common. Like, come on.
yeah.
If you were gonna say it, don't make it more of a challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say that it was in common because that is
That's
better
common.
for the magic of the candles, without me having to like think about it too hard and figure out what languages you guys know. Gonna be honest. Anyway,
They're speaking in Aramaic.
so you can't quite catch every word in all its clarity, but you do catch the general vibe of severe concern and discussing like alternate means of what to do about
Is there a
some
raven on
horrible
any of these
tragedy.
candles?
I'll check. No, there does not appear to be. Yeah.
In my journal, or in the journal that I have, is there any blank spots in one of them?
Are you talking about the one with a tongue?
Whichever journal I have. I think I have multiple right now.
Apparently, the languages that I knew did not get saved at some point and
Ah,
have been mysteriously vanished.
yikes. And as I think you only have one actual
I have
journal
a
journal.
prayer book,
But yes, it
a
does have
tongue
empty
book.
pages.
I have
Prayer book. When did you get the prayer book?
When praying,
I think that's just what I had originally. It was part of
Odd for a cult member.
like the one of the traits of being a warlock.
Gotcha. Interesting.
that means
An old
warlocks
book
have to
with
raid.
really
That's
old
gross.
map. What's an old book with really old map? I don't know much about that.
That was
But it's different than.
the dwarvish book. I believe.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that a separate map from the one I stuck into the journal?
I think that might be the same map. I'm not really sure at this point. Honestly, my notes are a little disorganized right now, and I've been in the process of trying to fix that, but I've been very busy with also trying to plan out 3 new places and all that.
You're good. You're doing good. You're doing good. All right. In the tongue book, is there any blank pages?
Many. Like 3/4 of this book is still available with 3 pages.
All right. I would like to draw all of these symbols into it that I see on there.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't take too much skill or effort. You're easily able to recreate these symbols. Yeah. So some snippets of the conversation that you begin to hear are, how could this have happened? What are we going to do? We need to replenish members of our council. The Dawn Cataclysm has caused so much grief amongst the heavens. This is unheard of, and just mutterings back and forth about you might presume relation to a certain event that has currently occurred with the Pantheon. But yeah, you're just kind of flies on the wall, hearing the tail end of a conversation that was not intended for you, it seems. But there seems to be some kind of connection now to a meeting of these deities, and each candle as a voice, a different voice arises. That candle glows slightly brighter with a symbol on its face kind of igniting. But the candle with the antlers and the oak leaf remains rather dark all throughout, as it barely sputters.
Does it talk?
It does not.
Does it speak?
No.
Does it make noise?
No. Only that which
Does
the
it
wick
sputter?
Only that which the wick is doing as it partially burns, but not really. The old woman seems unclear on what is happening with that or why, and she's kind of like pointing at it and like urging you to try to fix it or like make it burn better.
Does she want me to Eldritch Blast it?
I mean, I don't know. She's basically operating on Mama Swizzle logic at this point.
Should I try again? To light it. Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, I mean, you can try to light it again if you'd like.
I would like to try to light it again.
Mm-hmm.
I roll for you.
Cat can finally roll dice.
There's not really a roll necessary as you're trying to light it.
It's just been so long. Just let her roll
plus
something.
3. So 16, 17, 18, 19.
I'm scared she's gonna roll it underneath a desk or something. Even with such
Yeah,
a
it's
high
okay.
roll, there's not much that's changing. You
Oh
try to
no,
light the
that
wick.
means there's something actually wrong.
The wick does not take the light any better.
Gets a d20. Sorry, nothing happens. Wrecked.
For a moment, let's switch back over to the doctor, who left
Lovely.
last night and has been going on his own adventure and hasn't had a chance to do anything yet today. So, the doctor, you set your little diversion and you started walking off to Lunimus on your own through the plains for no reason. Do you have any goals or diversions that you would like to partake in, or are you just kind of walking?
I'm just walking to Lunimus.
Okay. The journey is not very long. You can kind of see your destination the entire way, so there's not all that much danger that could befall you on this journey. It's not even like dense forest or anything, so you're not likely to be snuck up on by any large predators. So I'll just
Medium
say,
predators.
after several hours of walking, you do make it to the outer boundaries of the land of Lunimus, and as you're kind of looking down across the landscape, you can see that the fields between like the mountain kingdom of Lunimus and the desert farther to the south, they appear to be littered in trenches and dotted encampments of some kind, and there's a bit of smoke rising from that area. The mountain kingdom itself still seems to be rather intact as usual, but you're just kind of sensing as you approach the area that there's a gritty smell of war potentially in the area. that was
Well,
not there
this is
before.
an interesting sight.
Yeah. You don't see many forces kind of like marching about in the night or moving currently, but there are plenty of torchlights that are both walking around the outskirts of the kingdom and also moving around the tops of the walls from where you're looking. So, what would you like to do?
I'd like to non-threateningly walk up to the camp.
Walk up to the king?
No, the camp.
Oh,
Non-threatening.
I was like, wow, what king did I mention? Just casually walk up to the monarch, slap him in the face.
How dare you, sir, block my way?
Yeah. Which side? Because it appears that if there is some kind of conflict happening potentially, farther to the south, where the desert is, might be another force rather than Lunimus's forces. So are you going to that area or to Lunimus itself? Or Lunimus's camps?
Lunimus's camps.
Okie dokie. Actually, you know what? There might not even really be any camps of Lunimus because they have their own kingdom. So,
I want to go to
There
the
would be
camp that's
people.
between me and the
Yeah,
walls.
sure. Yeah, there's definitely patrols kind of marching about, some mounted, some on foot. Without too much difficulty, you're able to kind of attract the attention of 6 horsemen that are in the silver and gold armor of Lunimus, and they kind of notice you and trot over, pole arms lowered at your position, and they're like, "Halt! Who are you?"
Hell, soldiers! I'm the great Dr. Licage from the Citadel. I was wondering what is going on here. I was merely on my way to see if I could offer some assistance.
You're uninvolved with this situation, then. I see.
Yes, I unfortunately just arrived a few days ago to the surface. My ship was shot down, and I need to make a way back home after I finish searching for something, kind of creature I heard of recently.
I see. Well, apologies for the hostilities, sir. We are experiencing uh, an unprecedented lapse in, peace, I guess? What word would he say? Stability? I don't know. That's something like that, he says. I'm sick. Give me a break.
It's okay, it's okay.
Well, I'll lead you to the marketplace. They'll be able to give you the fast track to wherever you need to go, to whoever you need to talk to about your yeah, we'll just have someone who can check your credentials, check you out, and make sure that you're who you say you are. And yeah, feel free to hop aboard. And he just offers you an arm.
I take his arm and I get aboard.
Yep.
Don't steal people's arms.
What's your clothing look like, by the way? I know that you were a little ratchet when you first crashed your airship, but you did have some extra supplies in your bag.
Well, my white doctor's robe is really muddy on the bottom and has tears, and some of the seams are coming loose now.
Mm-hmm.
And then my normal clothing underneath is just a mess.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Fair enough.
My hair's kind of muddy too.
Alright, cool. So yeah, this soldier kind of basically lifts you onto his horse with him, and they all begin escorting you to the market district of Lunimus, which seems to be a little side satellite area of the kingdom outside of the actual mountain walls that form the protective barrier from the outside world. But as you're approaching there, you're seeing a thriving marketplace that is rather quiet right now in the middle of the night. But there's lots of stands and even some like docking ports for large airships. There is a small river that appears to be, heavy laden with many different barges that would be moving during the day. It's
As we're on
big
our
area.
way there, I'd like to talk to the guy.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
So, have you heard of the rumor of an immortal walking around here? I'd like to do some research on them.
An immortal? No, can't say that I have.
Do you know anyone who may know?
If there were someone who was immortal around here, either Lady Lillian or the Mages Guild would know. The Mages would be probably the best bet, but who knows?
One last question.
Yes.
So, who is your opponents out in the field there?
That would be Dearth, the kingdom to the south. The weapons. I forgot what I called them before. They're just
Dearths.
a small weapons guild that got too big for their britches. Honestly, they've way overstepped their bounds in this fight, and it shouldn't be too big a deal. But they're certainly being a thorn in our side right now, and we're not. Not taking it lightly, considering they stole the prince as well, and they're just causing a lot of problems.
Would you like some assistance? I can give
Absolutely.
you some powerful artificery for a small price.
Ah, well, we do have our own artificers as well, but a little more invention and never hurts anyone. So yeah, we would definitely appreciate any help you could give. But I'll leave that to my superiors to discuss with you. I'm just the guard.
Sounds good to me. Leave me at the market so I can do my research, and you can then send for me when your officers are ready for me.
Well, we're bringing you to the gate right now, and as you're kind of passing through the marketplace, he is kind of leading you towards the gate, which is pretty heavily guarded at this point. Many soldiers all around, keeping watch throughout the night, and they are guarding some entrances to the actual Mountain Kingdom itself that seem to be tunnels through the mountain. And as you're trotting up there, you are meeting a guy who seems to be rather more important, and they once again ask you similar questions, and this time they're demanding your identification as the dude lets you off his horse.
I do have identification, right?
Yeah, I would say you have some kind of like official documents saying who you are and what you do for work and all that kind of thing. And since you've previously been here, these particular people might not be familiar with you, but at least your identification would probably check out, and they would not be, openly hostile to you immediately. They might be a little confused as to why you look so gross and how you got here at this time. So they might be a little suspicious, just in case you're a spy or something. And the captain dude or whatever, as you're explaining yourself, he'll be like, would you mind if we go ahead and, do a couple magic tests on you just to make sure you're not a spy, imposter of some kind, pretending to be someone
Go
you're not?
ahead. I have nothing to hide.
Very well. And he snaps his fingers, and a mage comes over and begins kind of casting a couple spells, like identify, detecting deception, these various things, and he just kind of shrugs
Will
and
my
says,
alternate self cause suspicion with that magic?
No, I don't think so. I think you're currently, your afflictions of that nature are not going to cause any problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so as far as they're able to tell, they just confirm, yep, you are just some dude who worked for the Citadel and is dirty for some reason. The guard will ask, so why do you look like you just crawled through a swamp?
Because my ship was... Wow, my mind just went burr for a second. My ship was... Fine, where are you? Take it down. There we go. My ship was taken down in mid-flight, and then I had to go through a bunch of hullabaloo with a party who found me, who thought I was suspicious, tied me up to their machine, and then insisted that I got drug along with them just because they didn't trust me.
Likely story.
Adventurers, am I right? Always causing trouble. Yeah.
I would never do that.
I would definitely do that.
Well, that's understandable. I'm sorry we've had a rough day, good sir. You seem to be cleared, good to go. Do you want a room for the night? Nothing appears to be going on right now with the, the war or anything else. So, if you'd like to just rest until the morning, we can sort it out from there.
That sounds like a good idea. You're a very smart man, Captain. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for the flattery. And just out of an abundance of caution, we might want to have you stay in there for the night, and not go wandering off. If you're alright with that, we could lock you in if you're...
I think I
amenable.
can deal with that for tonight. I am rather exhausted after escaping my capturers.
Very well. I can see if a servant would be willing to give you some clean clothes as well.
Would you like description of these capturers?
Yes, sure. We'll...
One's
information would
a
be helpful.
bird-like goose. He looked like he was dressed in monk clothing. the other one. I'm not entirely sure what she was, but she wore a hood. Do I remember the color of the hood?
She had bright golden blonde hair.
Oh yeah, you did
She was
remove
human.
your hood.
And she was the most beautiful woman you had ever seen in the world, and you were
I'm
not
not gonna say
impressed.
that. I wasn't going to say the most beautiful part, but I will say everything else.
Mhm. Cool. Alright. I'll keep that in mind should we ever encounter such a group of adventurers. Interesting.
Really just a pair.
Did you mention Mama Swizzle as well?
I never really saw Mama Swizzle.
I think you did.
You did.
'Cause they
Oh,
took
I
off
did.
the-
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that they also had a Kinku on the back of their machine.
Interesting. Machine?
I would like to call it a motorcycle because it has a motor and it cycles.
We call her bike.
Huh. I don't know what exactly that means. I'm not a technomancer myself, but I'll try to keep that in mind. Interesting. Well, if they arrive here, I'll make sure you're one of the first to know.
I appreciate it, Captain. Now I'll go hit the hay for tonight.
Very well. Have a good rest.
Oh no, the hay!
And they lead you to a rather nice room with a lookout over the city. You kind of feel at home with the enchanting haze that kind of spreads out over this area. You can feel that this is teeming with enchantment magic and or protection magic. And yeah, it's like a little high-rise built into the side of the mountain, on the vulnerable side, of course. But still, it's just it's a nice little room that they give you, and as they promised, they give you some fine new linens to sleep in. You got a bath if you want to take it, and they basically lock you into the room, just to
Probably a
make
good
sure that
idea
they
to
don't
take it.
go anywhere. Anything else you'd like to do, or should we move back to the
I'd just like to take a rest. How long of a rest can I have?
long rest?
Alright, I'm healed.
Alrighty. So,
Oh, should I heal my other self too? He's at 0.
yes, yes. Both of you will share the same HP basically when you switch back and forth.
Alright.
At least I think that's what we established. I know that
I think
different class, but yeah, we'll.
Right.
Because is his max HP different than yours?
No, it's the same.
Okay, good. Yeah, so just set it to the same, and then whenever you switch, you'll just track over the new HP. Okay. So, Q-Zeth and Ananias, as you're sitting there kind of listening in to this fog, the smoke rising from these candles, it kind of congeals more in the ceiling, and you begin to catch little whiffs of images as well. It's almost like a weird kind of dreamlike drug trip where you're witnessing things that are beyond time and space or your own comprehension, and just kind of seeing images of a battle preparing to happen, not with Lunimus, not with people, but it seems to be otherworldly creatures kind of gearing up in the heavens. And there's discussion of, the gods kind of having a lot on their plates and not having time to sort out the weave's inconsistencies at this point because there's other things that they find more important, and they're not sure how to maintain their neutrality and keeping the order of the world with all this going on, etc. And now they're like, oh my gosh. And you kind of get the vibe that they're a big part of the discussion was, oh my gosh, Sylvanas just got captured by something. How on earth did that happen, and what is powerful enough to do that? As though they're not even sure exactly what's going on. Yeah, and while they're still in the process of discussing that, one of them kind of mentions all of a sudden, hang on, it seems like I sense another presence. Are we being watched?
Oh, no.
And the
Oh,
old
no.
woman just kind of like goes, "Oh, whoops," and kind of like
Should we
hobbles
blow
over
out
to
the
the
candles?
candles. But at that moment, you say, never mind. Sorry, not yet. What is that noise that I'm
Then
hearing
when?
in the background?
Me drawing, maybe?
Oh, I guess so. Cool.
That was actually going to be my guess.
That's super cool. What are you drawing?
I'm just
You don't
doing
have to-
homework.
Oh, okay.
So logos,
Nice.
thumbnails.
I want to draw Legos.
So
Okay.
the voices get really quiet all of a sudden, and like steely serious. And the old woman is just like, and like kind of hobbles as though she's like unsure she wants to put out all the candles or what. Then a voice, strong and firm, kind of rumbles louder in the chamber than it has been before, almost as though it's within the chamber itself with you guys. And it's like, what business have you listening?
Have we heard this voice before?
I would say no, you have not.
Does any of the other candles that do any of the candles have a reaction to this voice?
One of the candles does light up in, like, significantly brighter than the others as a result of this, and it seems to be the one with the left hand pointing upward.
Understood. Left hand pointing upwards.
And these are like, this is like all related to this woman's curse, right?
Unclear. You're not exactly sure
Okay.
what's going on. One way or another.
Well, then Kuzith is sure that it is.
Okay, gotcha.
Awesome. So what did the voice say?
The voice said, "What business have you mortals in listening to the counsel of the gods? You
We look at the
with
lady.
forces beyond your power, your comprehension." And the lady is just like, "Oh."
Well, we were brought here by this one, so I believe they were cursed, quite possibly by one of you. Could you perhaps reverse it so that we can be on our way?
I have.
Yeah, they can only rhyme.
It's quite annoying, and we want her out of our hair as fast as possible.
The fog seems to kind of like wisp and congeal almost not into a face or anything, but maybe a loose
Oh my
form,
gosh, it's a face!
and seems to turn its attention to the woman, who is just kind of looking around without actually being able to look around. And after a moment of studying her, the voice says, "She brought this upon herself. She's
What'd
not
she
been
do?
cursed. Her husband messed with powers beyond his comprehension. And
Hey, that
broke."
ain't her fault.
How is that? Yes, exactly. How is that her fault?
Perhaps you're
The
right.
gods hadn't thought about that one before.
He says, Roll for persuasion.
She can be fixed. I'm not sure if she would want to be. For in doing so, she would lose the only connection she has left with her beloved.
Well, what is this fixing? Because quite honestly, I might have to decide for her with how annoying these rhymes are.
She's muttering some rhymes at the moment that are completely bonkers and I can't be bothered to make up.
Will you paraphrase a rhyme? Like, is she angry? Like, what's she sound like?
She's just like,
Yeah, emotion. What emotion of in these rhymes?
I'd say she's kind of like, it's like incoherent rambling. Like she's discussing secrets that,
So just craziness.
yeah, it's like borderline incomprehensible. Like, she's like, oh, even the gods don't know this magic secret that I know. I've seen things that are crazy, blah blah blah. This
So
is gonna
she's going
happen.
crazy?
That's, yeah. I mean, she seems a little bit nuts, just like a little unhinged. When when the gods was like, I'm not sure she would want to have this removed from her. She was like, blah 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 blah, and yeah.
Lovely.
Understood.
Yeah. So the last thing you said was you might have to decide for her because she's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, despite her condition and her nosiness and yours, I suppose, by proxy, she and you should not be here. Please cease this at once. We may heal her, and trying to think of the best way for this to work out. He seems distracted, I guess, as he seems to note you mortals were near where Sylvanas fell.
Do you know anything about the Raven Queen?
The Raven Queen. That is a name I've not heard in 300 years. Please enlighten me what you know. The Raven Queen is from the Shadowfell. She once was a powerful deity, but has since fallen in popularity.
Do we remember what? Did we ever know what cursed Mama Swizzle with the
stone?
Yeah, with the stone.
Yeah, Mama Swizzle talked about it being the Raven Queen, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or at least to QZ, that was told.
Well, I explained to them. We had this immortal with us. Immortal.
You're just. You can't just. Well, I guess they're. I mean, they're gods. Go on. I'm sorry.
I shouldn't. Well, we had this immortal with us, cursed by Sylvanas. And this immortal happened to come down with a curse that ended up killing them. And this curse was from the Raven Queen. And I wondered if maybe the Raven Queen had something to do with Sylvanas' disappearance.
That could be the piece we need. Thank you. This is most enlightening. It does not give us any more time to deal with what we have to, but it does give us information. Thank you. And he kind of laughs heartily as though he's surprised some mortals actually contributed to their business.
QZ is like, well, I'm glad we were able to help,
Ananias.
but now how are you going to help us?
Ananias says their name to the gods. Not mortals. Ananias.
Wait, you're saying I'm not immortal. I'm Ananias. I'm in a level on my own. Hey, you've got a vacancy. Can I be a god?
True.
This won't be the last they see of her.
Probably not. I will help you by curing this woman of her ailment. And the woman's like shaking her head and kind of muttering things. Even if it is the last thing she has to hold on to, it is breaking her slowly. It would be best if she were let to live the rest of her life in peace.
Well, okay, so as much as I'm annoyed by her, what does this curse entail? I have to know more before you go about doing this for us.
Sometimes, through events that should never have happened, mortals' minds can become broken, or see things that they should not be able to see. For example, glimpses into gateways of other planes, or into the business of gods by using candles. These such things are meant to remain secrets, and if she's stuck gazing into the world that she knows and a world beyond, that's only going to lead to trouble. It goes against the natural order. It's safer for everyone if that is removed.
All right, if you say so.
Anything you want to protest at the last minute, QZ?
Yuzi like looks at her concerned, but he hasn't really known her long enough to care too much greater, and
She kind of looks up
it
with
does.
tears
She's
in her eyes.
definitely seems like out of it and stuff. He says, "Very well, like I guess go on with it."
Yeah. And in a little swirl, like a tornado around her, the smoke kind of descends upon her and then rises back up with no discernible change on the exterior happening. But then the woman just kind of seems to wobble there a little haphazardly and seems confused now as to why she's there, and holds out her arms as though to like steady herself, but finds nothing to hold. Yeah. She calls out without a rhyme and goes, "Hello? Where am I? What?"
Well, you're back to the land of the normal speaking.
The what?
Wasn't she supposed to like die after this?
What? What are you talking about?
Oh,
she...
no, not her dying. Him. Oh, sorry, I said anything, ma'am.
I cannot do anything about her husband. He is inaccessible on a level all his own at this point.
All right.
Frankly, he's unknowable. Anyway, I appreciate your insight about Sylvanus. It's odd that we're barely able to contact him. He seems to be, or it's odd that we cannot contact him, and he barely seems to be showing signs of life. And then perhaps it's very odd, because at a certain point, he just kind of fades away, and instead you begin to see a thicker black smoke pouring into the chamber out of nowhere, and his voice is drowned out as though the connection is being severed. And some of these candles begin to blow out. One by one.
Ananias,
10.
you know where to find me. I say again.
No response is made as the candles, one by one, blow out. 10 of them disappearing until the last one is just Sylvanus's, sparking still, barely holding on to anything. And then, rising from behind the little stone pillar, is a clawed hand. which just kind of grasps the wick and extinguishes it. And then emerging from behind it, you see Mama Swizzle, but not Mama Swizzle. The gargoyle, basically, stomping out to leer at both of you with an unchanging expression. And it...
Is this
bares
our
its
first
claws.
BVEG?
First BBEG? You fought so many things that have been like a...
Well, the first one that's
And
created by
Boston.
us.
Mm.
What's
Even
it,
that
EG?
might not be the truth. You've caused so many problems.
What's an EG?
Big bad evil guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So-
Technically, I created a couple, so
Oh boy, yeah. The whole course of this campaign has been like heavily changed by
Derailed.
your guys' decisions. But
as it
Mostly
is.
one of us guys' decision, though.
Whoa.
QC's just trying to
Whoa.
hold everything together.
Yeah, Carmen really shouldn't have been doing all that decision making.
Mhm.
So we could begin a battle now when we have technically 7 minutes left of the session, or we could do this next time. But
I think next
I
time
think
is
it
the
would be
wise.
nice to go straight into a battle. I'm okay with that.
yeah, so
I'd
this,
like to see how this battle goes, to be honest.
this gargoyle with like
Well,
strange
we'll
purple
get to
energy
see.
bulging across its form is just kind of now lumbering its way out from behind the pillar and kind of blocking your escape from this little chamber. And this old woman is just like, "Where am I? Who are you people? Where is my husband?" And yeah, there you go.
Everything's okay. We're gonna die.
Yay!
No, that's
Yay,
scary.
death.
Not the. This is reminding me of those weeping angels.
Mhm.
Oh
Oh.
gosh.
Well,
Isn't that what Doctor Who says to what's her name?
I don't.
I have
remember.
no idea.
Mhm.
He literally says, "It's okay. You're only dying."
Yikes!
That is a
Mhm.
Oh, that was a good session. I really enjoyed that, Ethan.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoyed your presence here. Thank you for
Oh.
the session.
Well, I enjoy your presence.
Gasp.
I didn't realize we were giving each other presents. I'm sorry I didn't get anything.
You just being here is a gift.
Mhm.
That's why it's called presents.
Mhm.
It. Cough, cough. Okay,
I'm just glad
gonna.
EK didn't try to make voices.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did technically.
Not really. I
Not
mean,
really.
I could have
Not
done so
enough
much
for me to
more
leave.
with all these different
Yeah.
gods or whatever, and I was like, let's make it as simple as possible.
Well, your voice was just you but sick.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you but more epic.
Mm. Epic godly voice of sickness and baritone.
Alrighty. I'll see y'all later.
Bye. Have a good night.
Good night.
Mhm.
Y'all have a good night.